Recently, I was reminded of God's power and protection against evil forces. Demonic attacks are real and happening. It has been unleashed onto the land. These evil forces, these dark forces, these demonic forces. Now, some do not believe that God is real. Some do not believe that Satan is real. Well, this is what I say. If you don't believe either are real, this is how you really get caught up in the crossfire of spiritual warfare. Because some do not know that they are spiritually being attacked because they do not believe in anything beyond this natural realm, this physical realm. I didn't come here to cater to your physical nature. I came here on earth to speak to your godly nature, to uplift your godly nature, to edify your godly nature. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about death, but they also don't like to talk about demons. Demons are real. And I know the shadow within us is real. But we can open the doors to these dark, evil, demonic forces unknowingly. Because when you know better, you do better. But a lot of times it's willful ignorance that's going on. But also there is a willing participant in partnering with satanic forces. That's real too. But yeah, I was reminded of God's power and protection against evil forces, and I need to speak on this. And I was led to Ephesians 6. And you know, that last message I did, I knew it was a build-up of something bigger, of something more that the Spirit was, because I've been getting a lot of downloads. I have. But I also been attacked. You know, the enemy. The more information that's downloaded from the divine, the more the demonic forces want to step in to infiltrate, to attack, to attach. But I was reminded of God's power and protection against evil forces. If you're a child of God listening, you will understand what I'm speaking right now. You will hear, you will see, you will feel, you will sense. And I know some of you are under spiritual attack too, because that's part of the persecution. Okay. And I was led also to James 4:7 as a reminder. Submit yourselves to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. I'm telling you right now, the Lord's Prayer, that's one good way, if you need to do it on repeat, to get these stubborn spirits out of your sight. But also the warrior prayers, where God speaks through you. And you know, when you feel and sense and hear like that presence, that dark presence in your space, in your environment, in your thoughts, you need to cast down with Christ. You got to cast down that hell, that negativity, that demonic fear with Christ. That's the only way. If you don't have an intimate relationship with God, you're not going to understand where I'm coming from with this message, with this real talk. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. A few years ago, this started in 2020 when my vision was perfected from the one true living God about what's really going on when Rona came into town. And I heard the Lord say, you need to get to know your enemy. And I was like, huh? wise. You need to observe from the spiritual realm so you can understand, because the moves are not new. This is an ancient evil that still roams the earth. There's nothing new under the sun, but you need to know how they move and how they operate in the people that you love and care about, and how they operate in strangers, and how they operate in your workplace, and how they may try to operate within you, and how you can open the doors and come into agreement with these demonic forces. And from that point on, that's been 5 years strong. I have been discerning that. I've been asking God to raise up what is not right within me for me to see. And I also been asking God to reveal who is coming up against me, because I know it's not the person, it's the spirit within them that's coming up against me. I was reminded of God's power and protection against evil forces, because they here now. They roaming, seeking to devour. This is not a human war. That's why I was led to Ephesians 6:12. For our struggles is not against flesh and blood. This is not a human war. This is a spiritual war. And a lot of people are not awakened to the truth, because they're not filled with the Spirit of God, because they choose to ignore God. They choose to turn their back on God. That's why that vision that the Most High transported me to, where it was this long line of people waiting for the broad gate. I saw the broad gate way up and away from the people waiting in the line. And I had got out of the line because Spirit said, you don't belong here. And as I was walking away from the line, somebody that I knew from my past was at the end of the line, and they grabbed me, as if telepathically I did hear them say, where you going? Because this is what darkness likes to do. Pull you in with their misery, pull you in with their corruption, pull you in with their terror. Because demons like to terrorize and traumatize. You may hear the water sound in the back, and you may also hear this train grating against the tracks. But I'm telling you, these dark forces, because I had to pray a lot before I came on here, I was feeling like the evil entity was messing with my crown. The more I tell the truth, about getting to the root issue on how to heal, on how to grow in God, the more I get attacked. But I was reminded of God's power and protection against evil forces, because some of these demonic forces, these evil forces, are stubborn. So you know what I gotta be? I gotta be stronger in my faith. And the best defense is prayer. I've learned that the best defense is prayer and fasting, and staying plugged into source, staying communicating with the Most High. Because these demonic forces are coming up against the children of God, whether you're ready for it or not. And they're seeking to devour. I know nobody don't want to hear about no death, because all it's about is your living on this earth, and that's all you think it is. I know people don't like to hear about no demons because they don't think it's real. But they here. and you seeing it manifested in a lot of these killings. Aren't you seeing your children killing their parents? Your children will be your oppressors. I just heard that. The oppressive spirit in the black community. That's when I was speaking on that about the black male species. I know it's really about men, because the Most High showed me men where the darkness was rising up in them because they haven't did the healing work from like childhood trauma, or from like someone touching them inappropriately, or from their parents abusing them in some type of way, or from any family member that may have harmed or hurt them. It started in the home somewhere, but before it started in the home, it started with the forefathers, because the forefathers didn't forfeit the sins. Now those sins are haunting the present generations, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but that's just the dark forces that keep floating in the atmosphere. It's an ancient evil, and it still operates in the same way. Ain't nothing new about these dark forces. It may be new to the people who don't quite understand it, but lean not to your own understanding. That's what the Most High is telling you right now. Many of the children of God, those who claim to be Christians, those who claim to know Christ, are not prepared in the spirit for this spiritual attack. And I'm so glad the Most High has been preparing me in the spirit since 2020. Because today and this past week, I've been feeling it strongly. I've been seeing a lot of shadows in the corner of my eyes. Like, they lurking. I'm telling you right now. Anoint your homes. I'm going to have to do it again, as many times as you can. Pray over your home. Pray over the people in your home. Oh yeah, Spirit want me to go to Ephesians 6. Because about the children, and I'm seeing too much in the news about young ones, teenagers, killing their parents. And I know it's happening in all races, but of course on the news timeline, it's always somebody of the black race, of the tribe of Judah. Many black people don't know that they are of the tribe of Judah. And this is not about your race. This is about your bloodline. This is about the covenant you were supposed to keep with God. And our forefathers didn't do that. So that's why this madness, this sickness, this sadness is operating. It's still present in our bloodline. Haven't quite been delivered from it. Haven't quite been healed from it. And that's why as an individual, you should desire that, to have life on this earth. Okay, I have to go to Ephesians 6. Children and parents. Children, obey your parents, because you belong to the Lord. For this is the right thing to do. Honor your father and mother. This is the first of the 10 commandments that ends with a promise. And this is the promise: if you honor your father and mother, you will live a long life full of blessing. And now, word to your fathers. Don't make your children angry by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instruction approved by the Lord. God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. People want to look away from truth. People want to keep sweeping under the rug. People can't handle the truth. Your father and mother is really about the fathers. It says, do not make your children angry. That is why I was speaking on just because I was speaking, I was saying that the black male species are a mirror of the evil of the Caucasians, of the Europeans. They match that dark energy. So you can't blame anybody for your ugliness. So, the men, all races spirit is showing me. But I had to speak about that because the trauma that they have inflicted on a lot of black women, I've experienced it. Thank God I overcame it. I've healed from it. And I'm still growing in God about it. But it's some women that have become bitter about it. And that's why you see them hating on other women, hating themselves. This self-hate is real. And it ain't just in the black community. It's all over the human race. And the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And you know how the enemy has been doing it? Keeping you afflicted and addicted, confused and conflicted. Doing a darn good job at it too, but you ain't got me, Satan. You better get away from me. I don't say get behind me, because I don't want to keep looking behind me. Get away from me. Bounce. Be gone, Satan. I don't play when it comes to this darkness, even the darkness within me. And if somebody's around me who consistently want to keep going back to their old self, to those dark parts, because they haven't quite healed, I gotta stay away from you. I have to stay away from you until you get Christ in your heart and learn the truth about what's going on in the dark. People don't want to see the truth, don't want to listen to the truth, can't handle the truth. And I'm telling the truth and the whole truth right now, and some people might not like it, but that's okay, you'll be alright. For our struggles are not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something. I kept hearing, Jesus can't save you. Jesus can't save you. I said, Spirit, ain't that's what Jay-Z say? And one of his songs? Yes, I was led to Empire State of Mind. And it said, Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. Life starts when the church ends. Who is the only one who breathes life into us on this earth? This is someone who willingly participated and agreed with the kingdom of darkness just to have the money, power, and respect on this earth. Sold themselves out, compromised, because I can't say they sell their souls. They can't do that. Satan ain't got that much power, okay? But they compromised their integrity. They forfeited their godly nature for a demonic nature. Who is the only one who breathes life into us on the earth? The one true living God. And aren't we the church? And then I heard Spirit saying, this man denounced Christ out loud through song. And people still dancing and listening. This is in their psyche. This is in their heart. They accepted it. They participated. Some it was will for ignorance, and some had a deep inner knowing that they in agreements with what he said, in agreement with what he said. But yeah, this man denied Christ through song, and this was done intentionally. by satanic powers to disrupt and discourage the children of the Most High. The agenda. They play a part in it. It was an act of rebellion against the Creator. He knew what he was doing. That's what Spirit said. He knew what he was doing. This wasn't willful ignorance. He was a willing participant to join forces with the kingdom of darkness. Oh Lord, Spirit, why you tell me this? You something about to go on, Jay? Damn, huh? And I just heard keep watching. Spirit, give those who have the gift of sight in parts. So even if you see prophets, seers, whatever label title you want to give them speaking the same thing, Spirit is trying to get the word out to the people. Quit saying that some of these people may be stealing. Some of these people may be stealing, okay? It just is what it is. But discern. Test the Spirit. Go to God in prayer about it. That's the truth of the matter. Because Jesus Christ told us we're here to do greater works. And it's many. It's few. It's many are called, few are chosen. And few are choosing to walk with God, to share the gospel, to share the messages coming from source. But then I was also shown sorority, fraternity, celebrity, industry, corporation, churches, hospitals. These are 7 places where Satan keeps God's children bound in captivity. So when we look at these celebrities and you worship and you idolize them, Spirit was telling me many of them know that this is the kingdom of darkness that they're partaking in, but they do it because the lust of money, the lust for the fame, the lust for the power, the lust for the respect. Self-hate is real. So they will sell themselves out, turn themselves over to the kingdom of darkness just for the money, power, and respect is the key to life. That's what they believe. They captive. They in captivity. And how, Spirit also showing me this. Many of these entertainers, don't they die tragically or gruesomely? It's either through murder, suicide, or drowning. Message. But yeah, sorority, fraternity, celebrity, industry, corporation, churches, hospitals. Hospitals now. That's why I was protected from becoming a nurse. I didn't see that. I was heartbroken when I couldn't get my nursing degree. It was so many blocks, but it was the Most High. It was the Most High. That rejection was the Most High's protection, because I didn't belong. It's a lot of those doctors and nurses. They operate in a demonic way. They are tied to satanic forces. That's why if you have to go to the hospital, if you have to go to the doctor, be an advocate for yourself, or go with someone that you know that you need to advocate for their health, because they know who you are. They know your bloodline. They know who you are in covenant with. And they don't like when you are in covenant with the Most High God. And that darkness within them will try to come up against you. And they love to keep you addicted and afflicted. It ain't health care. It's sick care. They want to keep you sick. They want you dead. Now that's the real truth. Because that was Satan want to depopulate. Satan is the foe to humanity. They don't like you. I don't understand why y'all be partnering with Satan. That satanic entity hates you. And you join with that force just for the money, power, respect, just so you can have the fame. I wanna live forever. Where are you living forever at, though? Are you the living dead? Or do you have eternal life? Yeah, Spirit was showing me many of these folks who join, who come into agreement with the kingdom of darkness. They have a deep inner knowing. They know what they doing. Yeah, they be wanting to play us though. This ain't everybody in the industry. This ain't everybody in the entertainment. But we seeing it like in the movies, in TV, in the music, the frequency. Is it on the frequency of God or the frequency of demons? I don't even listen to music. It's been a while since I listened. The only time I'm really moved to listen to music, I don't listen to music of this day and age. I don't vibe on that vibration they own. It's usually oldies but goodies. You know, it's usually like the Whitney Houstons, the Mickey Howard, the Stephanie Mills, the Divine Feminines, you know, Anita Baker, and when I just want to feel love. Learn to respect the power of love. I've learned to respect the power of love. You know, those anointed voices, okay, of God who didn't compromise their integrity, their dignity, their authenticity for the devil. I'm going to say for Satan. Okay, I'm going to say for Satan. So, Revelations is a prophecy being fulfilled from the Bible. A lot of people need to read the Bible for themselves, the words for themselves. I'm only led in that Bible to what the word, from the Word of God, where the Spirit of God leads me to. And I know a lot of people don't want to believe that America is falling. The great Babylon has fallen. It's talking about this country. You know how much blood has been shed on this land for money, power, and respect? What about the children? Where are the children? The women sold into sex slavery, sex trafficking. That's a whole nother level of darkness that infiltrates this land, and it's willing participants from the government to the corporations to the hospitals to the churches. And I'm going to say this about the churches, and then I'm going to let y'all go. I keep seeing Yeshua flipping tables and throwing down with a whip. Coming to whip ya. Because the temple of God was turned into a marketplace. It's too many in the churches selling God. Selling prosperity. The only thing you need to be prospering in right now is your hope and faith. And a lot of people want all this money, want the wealth, and their health is not even wealthy. Like their mental health, their physical health, they don't even take care of their temple. One thing I have learned is when I'm at peace And that peace that surpasses any understanding, when I'm calm, when my nervous system, central nervous system is calm, when I don't obsess, when I don't worry, when I let go and let God, when I be still and know that God is with me, oh, things flow. Many folks ain't even in the right energy, ain't in the right vibration, ain't even in the right mindset to get what God has for you. So what you do, you settle for what Satan has for you. And then you think you're blessed. No, it's a price to pay for that. It's a price to pay for that. But with God, it's free. It's freedom. It's freedom. Ain't no strings attached to it. You a puppet for Satan. See, when you get impatient and when you don't wait on God, that's how you get pulled into the demonic forces. I'm going to tell you right here and now again. Yes, there is a higher power. There is the Creator. There's justice that's coming on the land, and you're being reminded of God's power and protection against evil forces, and you need to be in defense about it with prayer, in the spiritual warfare with prayer. This is an alert, okay? And fasting whenever you can, whenever you feel moved to do that. And sometimes you may not feel like you have an appetite, and that's because that's the time. Because that's when you can hear the whispers of the divine more. You can hear the next steps. And you could be stronger and wiser. And I hope this message edifies you, encourages you, and lightens you to the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for anyone. And I'm keeping you all lifted up in my high thoughts and prayers, sending much love, light, and healing vibes your way. And I catch you on the next go round. And I'll need to say this prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Be well, good people. Stay close to God, and you're going to be all right. I'll catch you on the next go round. Take care and be blessed. Love you. Peace.